Thank you for tuning in, and if you're watching this video, you pretty much want to know how to fix your ECU in your foxbody Mustang. What I have here, if you ain't seen my previous video on taking this apart and inspecting your board for damage, I'm going to bring you all up to speed in the beginning of this video. Well, this is the repaired board. We had 3 bad capacitors. Now, you get flooding issues, stalling out issues. Sometimes the fuel pump runs 24/7. It's you know, have injector problems. These capacitors do go bad. Sometimes these chips go bad too, but not as often as the most common. It's the capacitors fail with age. So what we did, we installed new capacitors. You can see them right here on this board. I have tested this. It works great. It actually does very good. My car does require a chip, so the stock computer can only do so much, but we will have to clean these terminals up and install a chip in a later video. But today's video is going to be us repairing this other computer we got. This is the stock computer. It got where it wouldn't even start the car. It has a couple bad capacitors, all 3. I don't know if you can see them. This one don't even have a leg connected to it at all. So what we are going to do today is remove these capacitors and put new ones in. You know, pick these up. Okay, the capacitors we got for this repair is these guys right here, 47 youve and a 63 volt. They good up to 63 volts for explode. The stock ones that was in this Mustang is, this one was around the same. How lucky was we? Somebody's wanting. This one was, what was this one? 47 volts, you see? So we should be good on that. First thing you want to do now, so let's just get to repairing our board. Okay, if this video's a little bit shaky, I apologize. I ain't got the tripod at the moment. Tripod I'm using is kind of a, you know, it moves a lot. But anyway, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this and try to explain a little more, try to explain to you a little bit more details. Now on your capacitors, that's this little guy. This is a new one. The ground is the shortest leg right here. That guy is the ground. Now another way you can tell, you see these little minuses right here? That is always on the ground side. Now on your board here, on your foxbody, towards this big chip right here, as you can tell, this right here is the ground. The other side of it, this is the same way. The ground is on this side, and that one's completely broke off, but the ground faces this way too. So these, all 3 capacitors, ground to this side right here. So you can't get that mixed up. Now to remove these, there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm a little bit brutal with this, so don't do it like I do it if you got a better way, or you can do it like I do it. The first thing I'm going to do is grab this guy right here, and be sure to wear an armband and use a mat that keeps static down. I ain't too worried about this computer. I'm just doing it for demonstrations. I'm still going to try to keep it usable, but just keep working it till that pulls off. Most of the times you won't have a leg left. As you can see, that one's pretty well done gone anyway. That's no worries. But here is your capacitor plug. You can take some alcohol and water and clean that up. Now you want to come around to the back side and find where it goes. It goes right here. I marked the board a little bit so I don't lose my place. Now you will want to take a knife or something and scrape these terminals. And be careful, don't scrape too much, but just scrape them out of the way, clean them off. They got a rubber coating. You probably can see it peeling up on these boards. That needs to be cleaned off. And it's got it on this side too. Now when we're moving these, you want to make sure if they do got good solid legs to them, you can't remove them like I did at the beginning. You need to heat them up and pull on them to get them out. But now you can flip your board over. Get you a pair of pliers. Here's us a pair. Hook on this guy. And get you a better soldering gun with a tip. I got this in with a bend. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a tiny little hook on it that I like using. I got some more soldering tips, but this tip will do fine for what I'm using it for. What you're doing is you're grabbing the tip of the legs. And once you get that, you can see where it used to be. Now you can come back in here with your alcohol and water and clean this board up the best you can. Just like so. We got that pretty well cleaned off. Now we can go ahead and install a new capacitor. The capacitor, remember, this is the ground and they face this way, you know. So you can cut off the excess after you feed them through, or you can do it beforehand. I like leaving mine a little bit taller. Just try to balance this right here. And just go ahead and feed this through. And once you get that, guys, you can come over here and clip the excess off. My pliers might be a little overkill, but if you do this, be sure to get a little bit better tools than I am using in this video. As I said, I'm just using this board as a demonstration. I done fixed the other board, but that's the capacitor in. You can leave them a little bit tall. It helps if you need to add a little bit of solder to them, like we're going to have to do to this one. Now you can get solder in all different sizes. This is a little bit too much for what we're using it as, but as I said, for demonstration purposes, we can use it for now. Just bend that little guy out of the way. Don't bend him too much. You can break him, and then you have to be replacing him too, and that might suck ass. Side, if you choose to. I don't think we need any, but I'm going to add some anyway just to show you guys. Okay, so let's got that repaired. Let's go ahead and find our other capacitor. Let's see. Is it this one? This guy's broke off, so I'm just going to gently work him to the legs break off. Backwards and forwards, like I did the other one. You don't want to pull hard because you can pull the contacts out of the board and you will need a new board pretty much. But just keep working him and eventually he will break. If you could get some snippers in there, just snip his leg off, which we might be able to do that. Let's see. Nope, not those. We tried though, it was an idea. Let's just keep just like so, and they will break off. And that capacitor was toast too. Draw that down to the side. Go ahead and inspect your board. It looks good, but we're going to turn him over and find out where he goes. He's right here, which is, here he is. These two little guys. Go ahead and scrape. Alright guys, you can leave these a little bit taller and just kind of bend them out of the way so they don't hit nothing. If you do find it easier to solder them on the board with them kind of tall, I left one kind of tall for demonstrations. You can do just lean him over like that, make sure he don't touch anything, and you'll be fine. Now, if you're doing this yourself, I just did this for demonstration now, you need a little bit thinner solder and a couple different tips, you know, with a sharper point, something to get down there knob with. And you can use a suction to get the old solder off. I didn't even bother. There ain't much solder on these boards. Most of it just comes off on when you pull these out. And that's another thing, do not tug on these. If you do what I did, you gotta work them back and forth till they break off. You don't want to pull them, you can pull the contacts out of your board. Don't do that. Or you can heat them up and gently pull them out. That's up to you. But after a capacitor is replaced, you can hold these boards up to the light, and you got all these little trails right here. They gold, kind of a yellow. You know, you want to check them, make sure they ain't got no broken spots, no bun places. If they do, you go sort of a jumper wire to wherever they go. Simple fix. This board didn't have that, but the car would not start on this board, so I wonder if a fast soldering job fixed it. We say we'll go try it out. Okay. But as I said before, this video is just to give you an idea what it is. Be sure to use the proper tools. You know, I didn't use, like I said, a suction, sort of suction. I didn't use different tips. I used a little bit too much solder, a little bit too thick of a solder. But do it properly. Now that you got an idea. Like I did this, you know, demonstration when I fixed actual, you know, took some time on. Let's go try it out. Leave me some comments in the section below. Well, I guess it's time to try the computer out. I now got it installed. So, let's go ahead and just see if it'll start. Start it up. This car is running a little tad bit witch. It does need tuned. Don't have to get a chip for it, but running 110% better. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video on the ECU, and hopefully you can fix yours by going on this video. That's what it's made for. Plenty more videos coming up on this foxbody for the channel, so definitely hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it if you do. Now this will need to be tuned. This car will. As I said before, it's running bigger injectors and a few other goodies. But we will get to that in the future. I just needed to get it back running again. And put new capacitors in two new computers, well, two old computers, fixed them right up. So, I see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, subscribe.